We're going live.
Are we live?
Uh, you're live. Hey, my mic's live too. Sweet. Okay. It's a twofer today. Wow, what an occasion. Okay. Think we're all here and accounted for. Oh, that's what I forgot.
Hello.
I forgot to say. Well, it's fine. It's broken anyway. We'll have to use Twitch chat to look at all the chat because my multi-stream chat is still broken. But hey, how go it? How are you, Zaiga? It sounds like you've been having a really relaxing time.
What do you mean a relaxing time? What do you mean by that?
It's just I've been sitting here. We've been on a call for the last 15 minutes, and I've just been hearing like groans and cries of pain. Like I'm just a little worried for you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just hoping you're
Uh
okay.
some things are happening right now, but you know,
just just going through some stuff.
oh my goodness.
So I mean, do you care to explain your struggles, Zyga?
No. Uh,
Totally normal.
oh my
Uh,
goodness. Run, 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 run. Oh, okay, yeah, 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 yeah.
so, hey, I see Lala and Hatuna in the chat. And I think
Oh,
also
hello, hello.
Hydropearl. Hydropearl said hi earlier, as Hydropearl is wont to do. Hatun says these takes, are they witch burning at the stake hot?
They are.
They are. They're just that hot.
Well, actually, when is the time that that your takes are not that type of take?
My takes are reasonable. Like I I speak only the truth, and I am punished for it. Lala says probably new panda. Panda?
New person?
No, no, Lala's talking about a panda. I don't know. Smo waves. Smo says clip button on standby. How dare you, Smo? Look, only the finest of thoughts. Lala says Grace speaks the truth. Lala says Zyga's struggle. Zyga, are you struggling with a panda?
Yeah, me and a panda were like wrestling right now, and I'm like losing it.
That's a crazy story. I think I remember that episode around my half. Um,
But how are things with you? How are things going?
oh, I am doing so okay. Um, and I things have been fine. Life is being life, but I don't have anything much to complain about for now, so that's good at least. Um, I think I was talking about it on Discord earlier, but multi-streaming is quickly becoming nightmarish in its processes. Restream is crumbling around me. It seems like sometimes from behind the scenes.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you've like kept it up for so long.
I mean, I really like the idea of it because it's just like it's that chance for people to watch it however they prefer. Because I have I at least at one point there was people who preferred watching it like on YouTube over Twitch and then vice versa, and so
Yeah.
having the options was kind of cool. But it's just getting to me. I was kind of talking about it on I posted about it on Discord to get people's opinions, but I'm considering just moving to Twitch to a certain extent. Like I'm going I think I want to become a not multi streamer and I'll stream primarily on Twitch. But I might still Twitch on YouTube now and then. It just kind of depends on what the stream's going to be, because it's just there's there's just a lot of little things. Uh, Rudy says, "What are you talking about? I don't understand." Oh, hi Rudy. We're kind of just we're just doing a little pre-show chat because Zyga is suffering.
No, I'm not suffering anymore. It's suffering has been deleted.
Yeah,
I can now I can
that's
now
good.
focus.
Lyle says Twitch on YouTube, TwitchTube. Tune suggests, and Rudy says, "Uh, I'm not sure what Rudy says. Uh, sorry, I'm not sure if you're. I'm not sure on that one, Rudy. I'm sorry." Hatun says suffering from success. That's definitely what's happening. But yeah. So we'll probably it won't be like right away, but maybe in the next couple weeks might just be transitioning to. Cause, I mean, there's other things I'd have to set up if I want to really commit to Twitch, I guess. Because at that point, there's a whole other kerfuffle of things.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's not going to be a thing that happens right away. Rudy, I'm not too sure what language you're speaking. I'm sorry, I do not speak it. But glad to have you here, regardless. If and you want to be here, I suppose. Um, but yeah, so that's kind of what's going on with me. Just figuring that. So there's just like a lot of life stuff going on. That happens occasionally. So, but
Yeah, I feel the exact same. Like sometimes like just life just like everything like happens at once.
right, just one of those things. But you know, the things will pass. Rudy says I'm from Indonesia. Okay, well, hello to Indonesia. Thanks for stopping by. Uh, yeah, so that's kind of. I mean, Zyga, other than your slow death, how are you doing over there?
I'm doing great. Like,
It's
just
good.
like um been chilling the past week, just playing
Noise,
playing
noise.
some games and yeah. I haven't really been watching much anime, which is sad.
Well, I guess we're going to end this show early.
Yeah, I know. This is our podcast, but about
I,
anime, and I'm not watching
oh,
it.
technically, the word anime is not in the podcast title. There's an implication, but not a necessity. Could really really throw people off and just talk about the fine china collecting or something random. But the tune says gasp. Yeah, Zyga, you're our only hope. It's your job to watch all the shows. You gotta watch enough for two people.
No, I can't.
That's right. You're so busy with all your honkaiing.
Yeah, I've mostly been playing Honkai Star Rail uh for a long time.
That's good.
Well, actually, yeah, like I've mostly caught up with it, so I mostly just do dailies when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
it. So yeah, there's nothing really more I can do with it.
That's fair. Just waiting for. Have they made any kind of announcement like when they're going to be adding more content?
Yeah, there's gonna be a live stream soon that's gonna talk about it.
Okay. I imagine because Star Rail's been quite successful that they're going to be pretty motivated to keep people engaged with it.
Yeah, so I think it's obviously like really slow right now because like there's not much content, but I think Genshin Impact was kind of the same way when it came out.
Mm,
Uh, so it just grows upon time.
right. Oh.
So like any other gotcha, like you're mostly just like waiting for either story or something to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You have to keep us informed on how it continues to be.
Yeah,
I think
it's really fun game. It has like my favorite. It's I love the battle system. It's so addicting. I love the character designs and the characters. They're all great. So
nice. That's good.
it's fantastic.
That's good to hear. And
And other than that, I've just been playing Final Fantasy.
right. It sounds like it's been just tons of fun, very relaxing for you.
Yeah, like Final Fantasy, the new patch came out today, and I've been doing everything essentially. I did the raid tier first, and then while uh while doing the raid tier, while gathering stuff to craft the sets, the new gear. I have mostly everything for the new gear as well
Mm-hmm.
to craft like two different sets.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, and then I have been doing the MSQ, um, which has been okay. It hasn't been as good as the raid story, but it's still
Yeah,
pretty good.
that's good. I'm glad to hear it's going really well. I can't play. I can't wait to dive into the newest content myself.
Yeah, when are you gonna get there?
Oh, eventually. I don't even want to make up a date because I'll probably not make it by then. But I'll, I'll definitely play it. Maybe even before I die. That's as much as I dare promise.
We'll see if that actually happens.
Yeah, that's right. Other than Lal and Hatun saying really mean things, on Sunday we got to Susano.
Yeah, I
So
know. Uh I watched from afar and
yeah,
lurked.
and shook your head, I'm sure.
I didn't see you die though on Susano.
That's true. That's because I'm what they call a programmer, actually.
Was it the first time
Um,
you didn't die on a boss?
uh, n- no. Um, if you carefully examine all of the streams, you'll notice that I've never had a game over even a one time because I'm so good. I've
Yeah,
never ignored ads. I, I play mechanics perfectly every time.
never ignored objectives.
Never ignored objectives. I always carefully read the party chat to make sure I'm on in sync with my team.
Uh-huh.
It's like
I'm like feeling like there's like this lie coming out of you right
like I
now.
don't want to use the word savant lightly, but I might be better than Yoshi P.
Oh my goodness. Really? Oh my gosh.
Like they really should just hire me for their QA team anyway. Um,
I think you're going too far with this. Like I think you just like went too far right now.
I should be more humble. You're right,
Yeah.
but man, when you're just this incredible at 14, um,
Uh-huh, sure.
and Lala
Uh-huh,
may
sure.
have been kept busy healing only me that whole fight. That's irrelevant.
Well, granted,
Um,
Susano is really easy, so there's
yeah,
not really much in that fight.
No, I mean, all kiddings aside, I mean, it really wasn't too bad. Like once you, because like he doesn't do anything super crazy. Like you just kind of pay attention to the AOE stuff, and then I gotta I gotta do a quick time event by smacking the sword. It was kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. That was a cool mechanic.
Yeah. So it's it's a pretty fun game. You can swim now, which is pretty sweet. Um,
You get to be
that's
underwater, stuff like that. Well, it's neat.
yeah,
I'm
it
glad
was
you're having
good.
fun with it.
So yeah, it
Yeah.
was pretty good.
Like
It's a decent
uh,
little game.
the newest Final Fantasy patch is super good. So I wish you could be here to chat about
Oh, I'm right behind you. Don't worry about it.
it.
Man, can you imagine like next year when I'm finally caught up with the game and we can discuss the patches on these podcast episodes?
Oh my goodness, that would be actually cool.
Can you imagine the possibilities?
Yeah, we could be like talk about the MSQ, talk about the whatever contents in it in the patch.
Yeah, we can share theories of what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, but if we're being realistic, we're talking like 3 years down the line.
I doesn't have to be three.
Oh wait, yeah, yeah, I know. I'm sorry, I wasn't being realistic. I meant 4 years.
Yeah, it's so rude.
Anyway,
A good player. Also, hi Jen, and also screw you. Just um, so
but
uh
actually, I want to retract my statement that I haven't watched anime because I have caught up on like one or two shows.
oh, you watched an anime or Zaiga?
Yes,
Wow.
I only caught up with two shows. Well, two and a half, two and a half, two and a half.
Two and a half.
Yeah,
How do you catch up on half a show? Elaborate.
because I only watched four of the two episodes. The two of the four episodes that I'm behind on.
If you'd watched four of the two episodes, that'd have been real impressive. That's still pretty good. No,
Yeah,
that's
I caught up with uh Yamada
okay.
Yamada's love story or whatever whatever it's called.
Level 999 Yamada or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that one because I like romance anime.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then I kind of caught up with my clueless first friend.
Kinda caught up. Okay. Good
I think
job.
I'm one episode behind now because one episode came out on Sunday.
Okay, well, fair enough. That's pretty close to caught up though.
Yeah. And then I watched half of the episodes I'm behind on Skip and Loafer.
Okay.
Yeah,
And those all
yeah, you're probably thinking, oh, Zaga, why haven't you watched Oshinoko? And I'll be
yeah,
like, because
you were
I
gushing
don't know
about it.
why. I don't know why.
You said is the greatest thing ever.
It is, it is, it is. I watched two episodes and then I am now four episodes behind
Yeah. Just
because I blame it all on Honkai Star Rail.
yeah. Honkai Star Rails is so much better than Oshinoko.
No, it's not, but it's more addicting. It's more addicting.
I think I need to reprioritize or
Um,
be more honest with yourself about what you like. Maybe I don't know.
well, on top of Honkai Star Rail, like I've been like prepping for the patch that came out today in Final Fantasy. So I like had to cap on all my tomes. I had to cap everything, and I had to like prep a lot of materials so I could easily craft this gear. So on top of
Right.
like that and Honkai, it was like the anime never stood a chance.
Well, fair
But
enough.
but um with the shows that I caught up on, I really enjoyed them. Especially Skip and Loafer, I think.
Yeah,
I think
that one
that
been
was
pretty good for you.
yeah, I think that's my favorite out of the three.
Okay. That one definitely looked, or at least sounded pretty intriguing to me. I remember when you were talking about it.
Yeah.
Did nice.
It's very good and like it's like surprisingly really good. And it's surprisingly like pretty has a lot of deep characters in it. Well,
Hmm.
not deep characters, but just like they actually develop their like side characters.
Hmm.
Like sometimes like you know in like high school anime and stuff when you like look at it like a classroom or something like that and then there's like all these different people and they're mostly just like background noise, right?
Right.
For like
Right.
the main cast. In this one it feels like the main character like goes up to someone and like they're actually like a person and it feels like their class is actually like alive and that they're all like different people.
Hmm.
At least that's what it feels like. And it feels like I don't know, it feels realistic. Like a
Okay.
realistic school setting. And the main character is fantastic. Like I said during the preview podcast thing,
Mm-hmm.
she's has like 100% confidence but zero execution on
Right.
everything. So she's just really funny to like watch her progress in life and want her and like how like serious she is about things, but how like inept she is at the same time. Great, great.
Nice. Nice.
And like everyone around her like has their own issues that they're working out, and they like help each other, and it's fun time. It's fun time.
Yeah, that's super cool.
So yeah, that's the highlight anime that I watched recently that I've
That's
caught
fair.
up, tried to catch up on. I'm still 2 episodes behind,
Yeah,
but
shame on you.
um, from what I watched, I enjoyed it immensely.
That's really cool. I mean, it's
What about
definitely one I want to check out. So,
what about you? Have you caught up on anything, or are you behind, or what's
uh,
going on with you?
I'm behind on everything. I have watched a, a little bit of anime, but um,
A little bit.
a little bit. So, I mean, I can't remember if we started the show last episode, but so during the Wednesday anime nights, we've been watching Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun.
I've never heard of that. Actually, I've heard of the name, but I've never heard of what it's about.
It's I'm trying to think what I guess you'd classify it best as like a rom com of a sort. But I mean, the basic premise is that there's this. I guess the main character is probably the girl Sakura, and she has a crush on this on one of her classmates who turns out to he secretly is is a mangaka for like shojo manga,
Yeah.
but like nobody else in the school knows about it, or at least doesn't believe it. And so it's kind of like it's she tries to confess to him, but then ends up somehow becoming his assistant instead.
Okay.
And then it kind of just like expands like with just like the relationship of that along with like their circle of friends that they develop, and it's pretty dang funny actually. Like it's pretty good, like because the it's like partly about like what it's like to make shojo manga and the process of that. It's partly about these
Yeah.
these pretty ridiculous characters. My favorite character is probably what's his name? Let me see here. Mikoshiba. Yes. Mikorin, he's the best. He's I don't know, look names. He's the okay. So Sakura's main character, and where the heck is the Hirotaka's? Wait, who's the main character? I don't even know who the main character is. Nozaki,
Oh
though.
my
You know what? It's
gosh.
probably Nozaki as of the name of the show, because
It's
that's.
the name of the show.
Anyways, shush. Um, the important thing is that Mikoshiba is the best part of the show, and he's
Oh my
he's
goodness.
Nozaki's best friend, and he helps with on the work on the manga too.
Okay.
But
Okay.
he's the best because he's too pure for this world.
Is he? Is
He
he?
is.
Why is he
He's
too pure for this world?
because
You
he,
enlighten me.
he thinks he's the most seductive playboy in the whole school, and he's just not. um, he's he's the best. Just
Okay.
I don't know. Like there's like there's got like just a really fun cast of characters. So it's like 12 episodes. I think we got 6 more to go.
Honestly, sounds up my alley.
G Silver already sounds disappointed. Anime Johnny Bravo. Yeah, that's basically Mikorin is basically Johnny Bravo.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
but he's great. So thank you G
Okay.
Silver for the save. But look, I, I well, anyway, and so that's been fun. I've watched an anime.
Okay, you watched a anime.
I
I thought we were watching something weekly. Wasn't it
no,
Mashal?
I'm watching Mashal. I'm a little bit behind on Mashal, but it's still good. I like it a lot. I think I was talking to you about last night, but like something that's kind of like started sticking out with me about Mashal is the fact that it's got like a really sweet like BGM. Like it's like a hip hop like soundtrack, which
Yeah.
is is pretty tight, as the youths would say. Um, but no, I like really like the music and like it's like been like kind of growing on me with every episode. And so I've been watching that. I'm really far behind on The Dangers in My Heart. I've only watched the first couple episodes,
Yeah.
but they were a joy. And then I watched the first couple episodes, I think, of Kuma 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 Bear, which I love that show. It actually restores my happiness just by watching it. Makes me believe that humans might be good. Like
It makes you believe that God is real.
it does. It restores my faith. it's and
Is
so
it
like
really that good? Is it really that good?
it it's really like objectively speaking, I don't it's not like I don't know, it's not like an outstanding show. Like it's nothing terribly groundbreaking for isekai. It's not like the the story or the characters like so complex or different like but it's just got something about it that just like it just makes me smile the whole way through an episode. And
Yeah.
I just genuinely just like feel happy just like while watching it. Like it's just like one of those shows.
Hmm.
Like it's it's hard to kind of put it in words, and I'm sure it wouldn't be the same for everybody.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, 'cause I think we all kind of just, I think a lot of us can kind of relate to that. Like, we all have like a show where like is just like really good, like comfort food kind of a thing.
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
And Kuma Kuma Kumber just kind of has that for me because it's a very relaxing show, and the cast is just like all like they're all like really likable characters, and you just like you're always like rooting for them. You want to see them succeed. You want to see what happens next. Like, and it's just pleasant. It's like it's got like a and it's just like got a very like sincere, genuine feel to it. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. I understand the feeling that you're trying to convey. So
but anyway, so
I felt it with a couple of other shows, like from last not last season, but the season before, like Bochi the Rock. I could feel like the same kind of energy from that show.
mm,
And I can name off the top of my head a bunch of other shows that I've watched that I felt the same way about, like KO, for instance. Um,
right,
like that, like KO was just like really enjoyable. Like I know it kind of like for some people it hasn't like really aged well when
mm.
like comparing it to something like Bocce the Rock, but I still think it holds up in some ways.
I think
Um,
Kaon's a wonderful time. Like
yeah, it really is.
it's just nice. Like again,
Characters are really cute, and the hijinks that they get into are really good.
no, yeah, it's that's another show where it's like it's not like a I wouldn't call it like it's not like a wildly funny show, but like you definitely smile and you'll chuckle during episodes, and
Yeah.
so get a Kuma jacket. Oh man, I can find somebody to make me a bear outfit for my model. That'd be the best. That would totally be a Kuma.
A bear model.
Just like you get like the same kind of jacket that Yuna has, just like
Ugh.
sweet bear jacket
Oh my
for
gosh.
comfy times. And G Silver makes a good point. Good show and fun to watch, not necessarily need to be the same thing.
True.
Yeah,
That's true.
I mean honestly, there's plenty of garbage shows, just objective garbage shows that I've enjoyed too. So
Yeah, that's it's kind of like the topic for today that we are kind of like talking about was like hot takes. I believe that kind of like could nestle into our hot take discussion. It's
yeah,
like shows that we that
good
are like
vocabulary by the way.
good vocabulary. What do you mean?
Yeah, he said
How does
nestle. I like that.
this?
But anyways, go start to run your sweet segue.
You like made me lose my track of
I'm
thought with that dumb comment.
so sorry.
It's this really dumb comment. Oh my
Please
goodness.
continue.
But yeah, like shows that are like objectively bad, but we like them anyway. Kind of like I believe that's kind of like a hot take.
Sure.
Um, I guess I'll ask you that question. Do you have one off the top of your head that you kind of like you know that the show is this bad, that's like terrible, but in
Oops.
your heart you're like, I love this so much.
Yep, I thought of one immediately actually. This is it's been my this is like my go-to example for like the so bad it's good and I love it regardless.
What is it?
I think I've probably talked to you about it before, but it Tesla Note, which I've got it pulled up on the screen.
Is this
Uh,
the Elon Musk anime?
I practically. I mean, it's not nearly that good. I mean, for those who can see, this show is currently nestled comfortably at a 4.66 on my
Oh my
anime list.
goodness.
So the general consensus for the show was that it's not good. I think it's pretty safe to say.
Yeah, I can
Um,
yeah, I can see that.
but I can say so. I watched the show. Actually, I haven't updated this. Actually, well, whatever. I'll do that later. I don't update anything on this site. Um,
You
but
disappoint me.
it's it's a great actually right now. Give that a 10. It deserves it.
Oh
Um,
my gosh.
it does not deserve that actually. It 4.66 is probably too kind. Because basically, so let me I can read you the synopsis here. Mission T is a secret operation to save the world from destruction. Trained as a ninja from a young age, Botan Negoro, raised to become the ultimate spy, teams up with another excellent spy, Kuruma. Their aim is to recover the legacy of the genius inventor Nikola Tesla, the shards of Tesla. Can the two outwit the agents of other countries who are also pursuing these fragments? A super original spy thriller begins. If you have to describe yourself as super original and you're not being ironic, that's already a good sign. Um, yeah. So just
Okay.
it's so first off, this is a CG anime, which tells you most of what you need to know as far as the animation style of this show goes.
Yeah.
Which I'd say the animation peaks at being bad, and it valleys at being nightmarish, and I can't believe they released it in this state. Um, but it's the same guy that did Tiger and Bunny, which is a good show, which is like kind of the baffling part of that. Um, but no, yeah. So basically, before Tesla died, supposedly he encased all of his sweet inventions into these crystals and then scattered them across Japan for reasons. Um, and so these spies are working together to try to find these fragments because whoever gathers all the fragments first will gain access to the most ultimate weapon in the universe. And so
What is that?
there's
The Tesla?
I don't
The
know.
Tesla car? The Tesla truck? Is that the Tesla truck?
That would have been the most amazing twist. But it's like a super laser or something. I don't know. But
Yeah, just
it's
like I could just like imagine like like they're like like the end goal is the Tesla truck.
it'd be great. But no, it's like I mean, and the show actually it has something kind of interesting because every shard, and this is probably part of why I like it so much. Like every shard is based around how to phrase this, like they're like based around I guess like true quote unquote like conspiracies,
Yeah.
like just like really famous things that like have supposedly happened. Like if people have ever heard about the gosh, why do I always forget about this thing? Um, the Philadelphia experiment was one of the first episodes. They were kind of based around, which the Philadelphia experiment is like this like famous conspiracy theory about this supposed experiment that took place in the 40s where they were experimenting with teleportation powers during World War II for reasons. And
Yeah.
supposedly they teleported a whole ship called the Philadelphia. But in the process, all the crew members like melted to the ship. It was like the like whole nightmare thing that they had to hide from the public forever. Because that
Okay.
super definitely happened. A guy said it did. So but I mean, like the first episode's like based around like that particular like there's like a shard that has that ability to teleport, but like it also like melts things together, and it's but like so like all the shards are kind of based on like cool things like that are true to life is a strong phrase, but like they're like kind of based off of like real things at least, like stuff
Yeah.
that like I'm into, and it's just really unfortunate the rest of the show is just garbo. I still really like it's just fun to watch. Like it's so bad it's good. So sorry that got really long winded.
No, 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 it's fine. I got confused like halfway through there. It sounds nonsensical.
It's super nonsensical. I mean, one of the core things is like the main character girl. She was specifically trained by her grandfather to become a ninja in the 21st century because he knew that she would one day save the world from destruction. And it doesn't go into any detail as to how he knew that or why being a ninja specifically would be the thing that it required. But there's a lot of like stupidly convenient things like that in the plot, like
Yeah.
where it's like they don't elaborate, but that's just the way it is. But
Okay. Okay.
anyway, so it's and I think the best part is like the show takes itself 100% seriously. Like like this is a show like it's not supposed to be a comedy. Like this truly believes it's being like this like crazy spy thriller, and that makes it so funny.
Okay.
So anyway,
Okay.
so
Interesting.
that's my first take is that this show is just actually just it's a fun time to watch.
All right. All right. All right. I see. I see you there. For me, it's a really hard to think of one, but I think I've talked about this one on the. I don't know if I talked about this one on the podcast or not
Mm-hmm.
earlier. But one of my favorite ones is To Love Ru. I
Right.
know to the people that know, it's To Love Ru is a harem manga that's really, really, really fan service.
Oh, it
Like
walks the line of what's safe
it
for
doesn't
TV.
it doesn't walk the line. It like caresses the line.
Yeah.
It like
It flaunts its
sleeps on.
goods to the line.
Yes, it like sleeps on the line.
But
Um, but this show has like so many seasons to it,
it really
and
just keeps going to like isn't there gonna be like
yeah,
I mean the manga's still going, I believe.
and it's so terrible. Like honestly, it's so bad. Like just the plot like just makes no sense, and like the plot is mostly just like him getting into like weird situations,
Yeah.
and
Like isn't it
um
like he basically suffers from like what is it, lucky pervert syndrome or whatever?
yeah, that's basically his special move. And but the thing that I like most about it is that the characters are just really funny. Like
Hmm.
the main girl, Lala, is my one of my favorite characters of all time because she's just like this weird like clueless alien that loves to make inventions, and the inventions are just like so like nonsensical that they just make everything like super funny.
Hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, that's and then like on the future seasons, like on To Love or Darkness, um, like one of the main girls like just breaks out of the mold and it says to the main character like, I know you're not gonna choose me, so I'm gonna make it the ultimate harem and you're gonna like it.
I mean,
So
it
and
is
he's
bold.
like, no, I don't really want that. And she like goes around to the other girls and tries to convince them
Yeah.
and gets really close.
I'm gonna say like they're very few shows are brave enough to legit go for the harem ending. So I'll give them some props for that, I guess.
Yeah, that
Whatever
was like the
props
main
that's
thing.
worthy of getting.
That was the main thing that made me like the Darkness seasons was because of that concept. Because
Sure.
I never really saw that in any other harem anime where like actually one of the girls is like wanting the harem end
Right.
and it almost happens.
Yeah, I mean that's I mean not that I've watched like a ton of harem anime, but I certainly can't well, I can think of one off the top of my head, but you don't like that one, so
What one?
girlfriend.
Oh my gosh. Don't say that name in front of me.
It's fine. It's maybe that can be my next hot take in a second if you want to talk about it more.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, so yeah, so Toloveru
So yeah, To Love Ru, it's a really terrible show. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Um,
had Nintendo
because of like
DS
how
visual novels. That's crazy.
fan servicey it is. Like if you're not like into that sort of stuff, then you might not like it.
Yeah.
But interesting like fact is that I used to like hate, like despise fan service anime.
You did. I remember. What went wrong? What
Um,
what
so it
what
was
leads
when
you here?
like before the Japan thing, I was kind of like very, very strict when it came to like what I watched.
Mm,
And um yeah, I was like, I'm only watching stuff that's good. Like I'm only giving things like 3 episodes, and if I don't like it, or if it's kind of like mid, I'm not gonna watch it at all.
mm.
And I was like extremely strict. And then like when I came back from Japan, I kind of like had this like revelation
Sure.
where I was just
That's
like
a word for it.
sitting there at my desk, and I'm like, I kind of like, I think it was To Loveru that I was watching, and I was like, this is so bad and so trash that it kind of like awakened something in me.
I don't know if you want to be
And
awakened anything from To Lover, but go on.
and I was like, all right, so this show is so bad that it's good. And what
Mm-hmm.
other shows have I watched in that I like gave up with in the past that I could go back to and watch just to give a second chance?
Right,
Because
right.
I kind of like found the winning formula to anime. And
Please share, sir.
that winning formula is like, doesn't matter if it's good or bad, just as long as you have fun with it. Just as long
Sure.
as it's fun and you don't feel like you're wasting your time.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you feel like you're wasting your time watching the show, then of course it's a drop. Because like I've had one of those before. That one that we were talking about uh, a while ago.
Oh,
Like the
freaking
the
Demon Lord
demon,
Nobody.
yeah, the demon lord is reborn as a nobody. See, that one was so bad that it was boring.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I don't
but
know. I think it goes full circle to just
does it?
I don't know. That show broke me. I'm still like still angry about that show. But yeah, anyway.
But yeah, like
It is garbage, I'll agree.
if the show is like entertaining and like fun, and even if it's kind of like bad, and
Mm,
even though you know like deep inside that the show is gonna have like zero character development, zero anything like that, and it's not gonna go anywhere, but you're just gonna enjoy the hell out of it because it's just fun.
mm,
And ever since then, ever since it was kind of like To Lover that made that spark on me, that was just like, I'm just gonna watch whatever now. I'm not gonna
yeah.
like care if it's good or bad. And honestly, like it is like changed. I've like watched so many shows that I never would have given a chance before,
Hmm.
and I've enjoyed the hell out of a lot of shows because of that.
Okay. Fair.
Like, yeah. Anyway, that's my long-winded response.
No, I'm picking up what you're putting down here.
Yeah.
So, and I am capable of respecting it. I'm still probably never gonna watch To Love Ru, but
Yeah,
I'm glad
you would
that
not
I'm I'm
enjoy it.
I'm glad that you watched it and experienced new feelings. So
But as for like a like kind of just like bring it back
sure, sure.
to like hot takes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what kind of hot take do you think you have that's like one of the biggest hot takes that you've had about anime?
Right. I
Like
mean, I
I know we've kind of talked about some of your hot takes before. Like uh I remember one of them was like the animation.
right. I mean
for
that
you?
probably is my biggest hot take in that I actually, as a general rule, I don't like the anime style.
Yeah.
Um, which I mean, I get, yeah, I mean that's kind of a whole thing, I guess, but because I can't remember how much we really went into it before, but I just I don't like how so much anime looks so similar.
Yeah.
Like it's like when you compare it like to Western animation, like you can you can tell like Western animation shows apart super easy. You can just
Well,
like
that's kind of like unfair, I think, because Western animation does not have like as much content.
I
Western shows,
like how do you mean not as much content?
well, much diverse in content. Like
I
when there's like the adult like shows, you got your South Parks, your Family Guy, American Dad, or whatever. And then on the other side, you have like the kids shows that are like the Dexter's Laboratory, the Powerpuff Girls, etc., etc. And there isn't really anything in between, except maybe like I guess like Avatar: The Last Airbender is like one that I can think of. But as with anime, it feels like it's all over the place.
hmm
There's kind of like stuff for all different types of people, whereas like there's never really anything adult animation that's not like in the style of like The Simpsons, etc., etc. That's why I don't like Western animation,
I
because
mean
the over reliance on like those type of shows.
I mean I guess that really comes down to like how much you're really trying to look for it. Like because I would say that there's a huge variety within Western animation. Like not just like aesthetically, but just like as far as like age ranges. Like I mean, there's definitely like certain predispositions. I mean, you can. I mean, I think the argument could be made that a majority of anime is made for like teens or high schoolers, at
Yeah,
least based on the fact that most anime takes place in high school.
yeah,
That's a whole other conversation, I suppose. But like with I mean, with Western animation, like there's definitely like there's a disposition towards them being. I mean, I guess I don't know if it's really fair to say the shows are made for kids simply because they're not overtly adult, if that makes sense. Because I feel like there's been like a lot of very high quality series that have been made that are technically that I mean that are TVPG. That doesn't mean that they're like simplistic and only for kids to like. Like that's actually something I've really enjoyed about Western animation is like the fact that there's been so many like studios and directors and things that have like been able to dance around that like rating restriction while still creating like really I don't know profound and intricate series. Like I mean Samurai Jack, I think they were TV 14. That one was very I mean was very I don't know fighty focused. Like I mean
yeah,
there's things like Adventure Time that run the full gamut of being like I mean like that has so much depth to the series. Like
does it?
you, God, Adventure Time is a journey, but it's I don't know. I mean, and Adventure Time is one like where like it kind of finds itself over time. Like if you compare season one of Adventure Time to like season nine of Adventure Time, they're almost like completely different series. Like I like how they go, but like I mean, they're like Steven Universe, which uh what was good and then became less good over time, but that one had really complex themes in it. Like we're like, oh man, freaking Over the Garden Wall is a great miniseries. But anyway, I mean, there's I don't know, like for me, I guess like I mean, because I seek out like Western animation a lot because it has aesthetics and
Mm.
things that I like. So like at least like from my perspective, like there's like so much that it can offer if you're willing to like look for it. But
Maybe I'm just like in the mindset that I don't really care about Western animation because I haven't seen ones that I've enjoyed since like Avatar, The Last Airbender.
right,
And I guess South Park I enjoy, but that's like completely different, I think.
right. I mean, and
As for like other shows, like I remember like you guys like showing me one once uh an
I think we
episode
had you
of it.
watch an episode of Hilda, if I remember right.
Yeah, and I did not like that at all. Like
To be fair,
I
that
hated that show.
episode was way out of whack from the regular norm for the series. But yeah, I would say, I mean, I guess just in terms of like, I mean, like or dislike. I mean, there's plenty of Western animation that's very emotionally complex and like I don't know. I think it's oversimplistic to say that it's like, but anyway, like yeah. But I guess
Uh,
that would just be my thing is like because I mean I feel like so much of the character of a story is in how the story is presented as well as the tell like I don't know like so I feel like anime really misses that opportunity to really like fully voice the world in their own style because they just like they follow such a strict guideline for what anime looks like and it's very rare to see anything like change that norm.
well, I think that's hard to change because that's kind of like just the culture of it.
Right,
And mm, like there are some anime that have broken out of that like thing.
right,
Like for example, the recent one, Ranking of Kings, did that.
right. Well, I mean, Ranking of Kings was more of like a throwback to classic animation, like classic anime,
Yeah.
more than
But
truly
like
being its own thing. But
I feel like it's hard for me to like say that anime will like because like anime has like its own style. Like that's like what makes it anime. And if it's like not that, then like it isn't anime.
right,
It's kind of like harkening back to that the old argument of like is like X an anime, like
right,
Avatar the Last Airbender for instance, like
right.
or recently Star Wars Visions, like
Mm,
um is it a quote unquote anime? And it's like anime is that style that will never go away and is kind of like the trademark of like what makes it an anime.
right. I mean, yeah, and that really does come down to how you define anime, because at least for me, because like I've always, I mean, because I mean maybe this is a super hot take, because I don't know if I've ever considered myself like specifically a fan of anime. It's like I've always been a fan of animation, which in
Mhm.
Japan that's the same thing. Anime is just short for animation.
Yeah.
Like like people talk about like I've had conversations with people in Japan where like they talk about how like Disney's their favorite anime. Like they
Yeah.
they, they consider like anything from the West, they'll put in the same anime bucket. and so like they don't differentiate the way that we seem to like to in the West. But
Yeah, that's the difference that we have over here is that there are like definitions for things,
right,
which is
but
kind of what makes us different.
right, yeah. So I guess at least for me, it comes down to like there's a lot of like I guess anime series I do enjoy, but it tends to be like in spite of the art style. Like it's it's always like a little like nagging thing in the back of me. It's like, man, these all just kind of look the same. I think somebody made a comment in earlier about I think yeah Lala did about how I mean Western animation starting to have the same problem where like bean mouth is becoming prevalent.
What's that?
There's just a certain style like Steven Universe does it, but like there's kind of like a certain kind of bubbly soft animation that's like really starting to take over because like Steven Universe, Bean Puppy Cat, um,
I have no idea these words that you're speaking out of your mouth.
basically there's a university over in California that's like ruining animation
Huh.
because every artist is like learning the exact same art style, and so probably Western anime within like 20 years is going to slowly converge into just all looking the same too, and it's going to be sad. Oh, Centaur World. Centaur World upsets me. Like I haven't watched. I've just seen screenshots. And it upsets me. But um,
I guess that would probably be my hot take is that I've never really seen a Western animation that I liked,
right,
except for Avatar: The Last Airbender and probably Samurai Jack.
right. I
Like
guess
I don't count South Park
right. I mean,
as
South
reasons.
Park. South Park truly is its own beast. It's a yeah. That's fair. That's a category unto itself.
Like
But
like like another hot take is that I could say is that I have seen like 4 or 5 episodes of Adventure Time and I didn't like any episode that I saw.
right. Well,
That's probably my extreme hot take.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I mean, because Adventure Time is potentially like that can be a hard one to get into for sure because it's it's like a 99% episodic series, but at the same time, it's like there is like a progression and like a development of things, but like it happens so slowly that you almost don't notice it.
See, I think like what you just said is kind of like why I don't like Western animation
Hmm.
is and like Western TV shows is the episodic nature of most of them.
Hmm.
The episodic stuff is kind of like what kills it for me. And that's why I enjoyed anime more. And even though like they're like some shows like don't do that, I think feel like there's a whole lot of it that do on the Western side because
Right.
they're like trying to cater to an audience that is like watching it through their television and like picking it up every once in a while. So they're like always like harkening back to that stuff. So it's always episodic. And Samurai Jack was like this. Even Avatar: The Last Airbender was like this. Even though like Avatar: The Last Airbender had a like story going on, it still had like those episodic nature episodes.
Right. I mean, and that I agree that majority of Western anime is very much or what animation is very stuck in the like, and I think, and that probably comes down to, I mean, just the nature of how animation started, where it was meant to be like there's a lot of like very standalone shorts meant to like be previewed before movies and stuff like in theaters,
Yeah.
and so there was this initial need of like they had to be like self-contained, where you didn't need to have like other context beyond beyond what the short was, and then that probably carried on like into the 50s and 60s because Hanna-Barbera, which was like the animation powerhouse of the day, they did things like the Flintstones or the Jetsons, which were basically kind of parodies of like American sitcom shows,
Yeah.
just in an animation style. And so I mean it yeah, it basically just like the tradition that developed in America was like episodic sitcom kind of style for cartoons just through that. And then I'd actually be really interested to learn how what made that not happen in Japan.
I think
Like,
a lot of it that happened in Japan, because I think like if you look back on some of like the older anime, like uh let's like say like Astro Boy or something like that, I think those were episodic.
yeah, I guess like the very old school Tezuka stuff, but he was very obviously influenced by American animation.
Yeah, of course.
But
But I think like uh anime just started telling stories like that had a beginning and an end, and then like that, and like had them connect,
right,
I guess. And I
yeah,
think
I'd actually,
that
but
that's like what like I enjoy the most about anime is that like that continuous story.
right,
Because
yeah,
like I've like watched so many shows that like are those episodic things, and I always feel like it's like not enough, you know?
hmm,
Like
this is really interesting.
sometimes like there's like this like world that you're like watching,
Hmm,
and or this episode that you're watching, and you're like, wow, that was a really good episode. I wish
hmm,
there was more of this particular episode.
hmm,
And then later on, they like move on from that and on the next episode. And it kind of gives you like, kind of like gave me this whiplash. I think like a bunch of times in Samurai Jack it happened. Like there was sometimes these like really cool episodes. And then uh once the episode was over, it was over, and you weren't allowed to go back, you know?
hmm. That's a really interesting perspective, actually. Um, actually, I guess that maybe that really does just come down like how I think we just kind of view it just different in that way, I guess, because I think for me like I kind of like how I mean there's pros and cons to episode, but like I like the endlessness of it, I guess, like the I like the fact that everything kind of that there's like no end point, I guess. Like there's always like a you know, 'cause like whatever like happens in the episode, like it kind of returns back to square one for the next episode. Like and so yeah, there will be like these things that are kind of like one and done events. Like no one
I
chooses
guess
like a
for
cool character, like a cool world, but they never go back to it.
I guess for me, that's just like uh it feels like that's like no depth. Like
Hmm.
if nothing can ever change, if they always have to reset from square one, then why bother watching it?
Right.
Because like is it the kind of like idea that like characters like grow and develop into something different instead of kind of just resetting and then just going through the motions and just following a small plot, because
Right.
this kind of the thing that irritates me about western media, like
Right.
for example, like shows that I hate are crime shows.
Hmm.
Your like Law and Order, Psych, and like um all these like these crime and stuff shows, because they're like these self-contained like one episode thing, and then after that one episode the world is reset,
Hmm.
and it's like that episode did not happen, and then it goes on, and then they just inflate uh episodes one after another with the exact same plot, just different characters,
Hmm.
or like a different scenario, but essentially what it all comes down to in the end is that the world is reset, and then it goes on to the next episode. Nothing ever changes. And
Right.
that's like what irritated me the most, and like I haven't really watched much shows outside of like, your Game of Thrones, or
Hmm.
those like big shows that have come out in the West that are really extremely popular, like Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, etc., etc. They're all like super popular because like they have that continuous story,
Hmm.
and no one's ever going to go up to you and say, "Hey, have you seen the newest episode of Law and Order Special Victims Unit?" No one's ever going to say that, or they're going to be like, "Oh, have you seen the latest Game of Thrones episode?" Well, Game of Thrones is over, but
Right, well, it's
you
coming
you
back.
you get what I'm
But
saying.
no, I mean, I do. I can I can kind of get that. And I
It's a really
guess
interesting discussion, by the way.
no, I mean, it is interesting. Like, I'm starting to kind of understand like why you like the shows you like,
Yeah.
because you're the core foundation of your personality is just wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
I, I do not want to hear that from you.
but no, like I can totally see where you're coming from on that.
Yeah.
Just because, and I think and that kind of makes sense because like, cause if you're looking for like kind of like a progression or like development, then yeah, Western animation is probably not going to satisfy you too often.
Yeah. Yeah. I think like a lot of the times, like plot and characters are like my favorite things,
Mm-hmm.
and like whenever there's like an ongoing plot, um, it's a lot better, and I think it kind of like shows with Western media, like like I said with Breaking Bad and like Game of Thrones, but even like you could even say this for the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Mm-hmm.
You could apply this to the Marvel Cinematic Universe because the first three phases of the Marvel Cinematic Universe were all like interconnected.
Mm-hmm.
They all like at the end of them or like somewhere in them, they had something that they were hinting at or some plot thread that was connected to the other movies. So it felt like this like one continuous story that was going on for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then the story ended, and like like all the Marvel movies from phase 1 through 3 were like extremely popular. It was like the big thing out because they were connected by this plot, and then everyone was so interested in like, oh, who's this Thanos person, who's this Thanos person, and like, what are these Infinity Stone things, and oh my gosh, so you just revealed another Infinity Stone thing, and it's like all the plot threads are coming together, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
made them so popular. And then you see like right after Endgame, with every other Marvel movie that has come out, they're not connected at all. They're these like individual based stories,
Hmm.
and the popularity has like dipped, like dipped really hard because there's not anything connecting those stories, and it feels like they're not setting up the next biggest thing with these stories. That's just something individual, like
Hmm.
episodic,
Right.
and people are not there to like talk about the episodic. They want like there to be a bigger picture, I guess. And
Right.
I feel like that's just like hammers in the point that I'm trying to make
Right.
of something that I don't like in Western media.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what do you
Okay.
think?
No, I can definitely kind of see where you're coming from on that. Like, and I think that really just comes down to like, I think we we do kind of like fundamentally just like kind of look at, I guess, shows and entertainment and stuff just a little bit different because I mean I appreciate like development and progression like I think I mean I guess I think I have a way to, like a phrase way to put it because like I like seeing things develop and get more complex, but at the same time, like I there's something I really do love about like episodic series, just because there's a certain kind of there's kind of a comfort to them because you know that even if you don't know exactly what's going to happen episode to episode, you kind of have an idea of like because like you know the characters, you know generally how they're going to react to certain things, and there's something fun about like I don't know the familiarity of it, and there's just then the fact that like there's never like a point where like it has to end. It's like for me like I don't know, my least favorite thing part of a show is usually the ending because then it's over. Like it doesn't it's like it doesn't matter how much fun the ride was, you have to get off and then go sit in line for 3 hours again for the next ride at Disneyland. But it's like I way more enjoy something where I can just like stay on the same ride for longer rather than I finish the show, I finish the experience. Like, well, now what do I do? Like, so
Hmm.
that's all of that experience there is. And you can't ever just like it doesn't matter like how good that 26 episode series was. You can't ever watch it for the first time again, and then you only have those 26 episodes or however long of the show it is. And so there's some and so like there's something that's nice about having like and even like because there are episodic shows that like where like they do end or they get canceled or whatever, but there's kind of this feeling to them of like like you can just kind of like imagine how the characters are continuing with the same things they've always done like that. Then you can maybe go into fan fiction because you're a masochist and you're desperate, but that's different. But um so there's something about that that I really like, which is why I like and this is I think this is a pattern a lot of people can probably recognize. Like at this point, is like I don't really like to finish things. Like I have a strong tendency to like watch halfway through a series, and then I kind of just will stop before I get to the end of it because I actually for some series at least like I prefer imagining how it'll end versus actually seeing what the real end of it is. I guess like it's hard to explain, but like I do that a lot with shows actually.
I
Like
feel like that's
sometimes,
an extremely hot take.
there, yeah, because it's really hard to articulate. Cause like, there's something I really like about not knowing the whole picture. It's probably why I get really obsessed with ghosts and cryptids and all that other silly nonsense. Because there's never going to be an answer like for that kind of stuff either. And I kind of like just having the I like having the open like, and this is also why I have like 60 tabs open on my computer at any time. It's like having open ended things. It's nice knowing that there's more out there that I haven't experienced, which is it's hard to
Yeah,
it's a really weird
I
thing to explain, but
yeah, I kind of get what you're talking about, and I think it's just interesting, um, like just how different our tastes are.
yeah, huh? I think we probably can't be friends anymore.
Yeah,
This is probably
yeah,
the
I have to go
final
over and
episode of
kill
the
you right now.
podcast.
I have to go over and like put a knife in your back really quick.
Yeah. And Lala, don't call me out for my sweet fanfics that I've possibly written but never published.
But I do understand. I do like see that point of view, even though I personally don't understand it.
Right.
Um, because for me it's always been about the story.
Mm.
I've kind of been like a secret writer for a long time, and
Mm-hmm.
I love like writing out stories of like epic tales from part one to the end
Right.
and experiencing those. And I think that's like just what makes me different, I guess, than you, is that I feel more in that situation, I guess.
Mm.
But that's fine. You be you, and I be me, and and I think that's what made us like a good combo from like the original anime podcast,
Yeah,
the
season
secret
0.
one, season 0, is that like a lot of people in chat and probably don't know this, but like whenever we did seasonal reviews and stuff, we watched completely opposite things
Yeah,
every single time without
we
fail.
we rarely watch like maybe like once in blue moon we doubled up on the same show.
Yeah,
But
but
like
it
it's not
was
like we
it was,
even planned it that way. We were just
yeah, we
always
never
gravitating towards different stuff.
yeah, we never planned it that way at all. But like somehow you would just watch stuff that I wouldn't watch, and then I would watch stuff you wouldn't watch. It was
Right.
weird.
It is funny because like I mean, and there is like if our anime pools are like Venn diagrams, like there's an intersection of stuff that we both enjoy.
Yeah.
Like
Like what was that show called? The uh Fantasy v Shoujo, or what was
I can't even imagine what you're talking about. These
what
shojo.
was
Wait, what?
what was the show called? We were just talking about it the other day.
Um,
The one
wait,
where the guy turns into a girl.
which one? Like, are you talking about Magical Girl Ore? No,
No, no, no, no.
the guy turns
Oh my
into a
god.
girl. What? Wait, what?
Yeah, the guy turns into a girl, and he like his friend, and then they're bound by that thing that they're
Oh,
falling in
friggin'
love with.
Fantasy Knockout.
Total fantasy knockout. That's what it's
That's
called.
right. I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, the total fantasy knockout. That was the one we overlapped on.
That's true. That was one of
That's
those occasions, and that's probably a good example of like because I mean it's mostly a comedy. So like I mean the plot you could say is somewhat second to
yeah.
just the nonsense going on, but there was like a guiding thread that where things were advancing, and I can't remember that really show even really. I feel like there's probably supposed to be a season 2 because I don't know if I could call the end of that really an end, but
You know what? This whole discussion has made me think though.
hmm.
You're not gonna finish Final Fantasy 14
I you know what I don't have to because the game will never finish. So
because
that's
because you're gonna like get to like Endwalker, and then you're gonna be like, I don't want this to end,
yeah.
and then
No,
you're gonna stop.
I'll retire as a streamer right before the final quest.
And then you'll start reading fanfics instead of playing the actual game.
Yeah, I'll start reading that high school manga that was made.
Oh yeah, there was that high school Final Fantasy 14 manga.
That's what I'm so
I want
like.
to read that. I want to
I,
read that.
I need to get far enough into the game that I can read that because once I get far enough to enjoy that manga, I can quit the rest of the silly game. I don't need to see what happens in Shadowbringers. I can just anyway. But no, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, because I really do like. I mean, that's actually like it's weird. Like I've been like I'm kind of like realizing this as we're talking. Like it's like I really do like there's so many things like it's like I can even go over to my main profile on my anime list, and I mean I've completed a lot of shows, but I also have like 40 shows I'm apparently in the middle of watching. That's probably not really accurate. Got like 40 shows on hold. I've got like so I've got all these shows where like I'm intending to finish them eventually, but I maybe never will. But and then there's so many games where like I've started them and I kind of just like will drop them randomly. Just I kind of get like as much as I want out of the story, and then I just kind of walk away from it.
That triggers me as like a completionist.
Yeah.
I'm a completionist like hardcore. That's why I love my anime list, is because like I love seeing the completion numbers, and I love seeing like start end dates, and I like those type of goals.
Right.
And like me seeing that like gets me serotonin levels or something. So that like triggers me to non-end that you do that. And like for me, like when I start a game, like I'm going to finish it no matter what eventually.
Right.
And I try not to like start too many games,
Mm.
because I have to like go back and finish it.
Right. No, I
Because
mean,
if I don't, I feel like there's this like hole inside of me
right.
that I can't like uh that I need to like fill.
Mm.
But yeah, that's just the completionist in me.
You know, and I do respect that. Like, I used to be, at least with the video games, I used to be completionist, but that also might have come down to like back like when I was like high school or younger, is like I only had so many games, and so I did have a tendency of like the whatever games I did own, I would play them to death and beat them every which way I could think of and get all of the things. But it's like I guess now that am I'm a responsible, mature adult, and I can waste my hard earned money on as many games as I want or series as I want. Like I can just get exactly as much as I want out of it and then walk on to the next thing. And that might be the ADD a little bit, but the ADD I definitely don't have, by the way. Undiagnosed, probably.
I think you probably do.
I, I don't want to go to a doctor about it because I'm sure they're going to be like, holy hell, you need all the Adderall. But like, I don't want to have that conversation. So I'm just, in the meantime,
I could tell by your streams, because you're like you're like, oh, shiny, when you're playing
shush.
Final Fantasy 14. You're like walking somewhere around, and you're like, oh, shiny.
Yeah, I find a cliff that I got to go jump off of real quick or got to climb on something. Look, but
Lala's never gonna let me live down that I don't like Hildebrand.
and
For some
that
reason, I
probably is
just don't like it. Okay, for some reason, I just don't like it.
that is one of your hot takes, isn't it?
Oh,
Although,
that's probably my hottest Final Fantasy 14 take.
yeah, I mean,
Like I didn't I'll just say I didn't skip the Reborn one, didn't skip the Heaven's Ward one, didn't skip the Shadow Break, the sh- the Stormblood one.
mm,
The only ones I skipped was Shadowbringers and Walker.
that's fair, I guess.
So, because
But
I think like the humor like just didn't really resonate with me. I guess
sure.
that's like the main thing.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna climb that hill with you necessarily, Zyga. I mean, I'll wave to you from the bottom and give you a thumbs up because I mean I do partly agree that like Hildebrand is is pretty stupid in a lot of ways, and it's
Yeah,
extremely Japanese in its humor, like
yeah,
obnoxiously so at some points. But it still gets me to laugh, and so I have to respect the fact that it it does make me chuckle sometimes. Like, so
the he's and the haws.
yeah, like not every joke is a hit, but enough of them hit where like I gotta like well, I'll see this through. Like, I mean, and people can say like I haven't really I do Hildebrand in small doses. Like I do like one, maybe two episodes at a time,
Mm.
where I'll take a break again from them for a few months because there's definitely like a Hildy limit where like it would I think it would stop being very funny if I played too much of it at once. I'd start getting probably really annoyed with Hildebrand,
Yeah, I could see that.
but it I don't know they're fun. They're really odd. It's really odd that they're in Final Fantasy 14. Like they don't feel like they really
Yeah,
fully belong, but that's another conversation.
yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms.
Like those feel like they should be
It's not.
like non-canon DLC or something for the game, but I guess they kind of are already. But
But anyway, like anyway, that was an interesting tangent that we just went on.
yeah, and I think we can safely say this is the end of our friendship,
Yep.
and I hope to never see you again, sir.
Yep. I likewise, sir.
Yeah,
How I tip my hat to thee and wish you a nice day.
I I shake the dust off my feet in your direction, and maybe never cross paths again. um,
If I see you in the hallway, I will just like look the other way.
yeah, that's pretty harsh. Tune, I'm such a good friend. What do you mean? I'm a good.
No, he's not because like I like messaged him and then he like never responds to me.
I'll
When
get
I when
back
I
to you within
message
the
him
week.
saying when I message him saying, "Hey, I'm in the area. Do you want to like meet up and talk?" Then
I'm
I get a
sorry.
message like 2 hours later when I'm at home.
I'm sorry. I had look. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I see how it
I'm
is. I
I'm
see how it is.
trying so hard to get better at noticing like texts and messages. Just terrible.
Eventually, Senpai will respond to me.
Is that what that is? How did I become senpai? That doesn't seem fair.
uh, anyway,
But yeah, so I think the this was a fun discussion anyway. This is this was like I don't know about you, but I feel like I had like a weird kind of therapy realization of like the way I consume media. Like
I think you did too. I think you had like a revelation somewhere in there when I was explaining things.
yeah, I feel like that happened a lot with our season zero podcast too. Like I feel like a lot of our conversations like led me to realizing things about myself
Yeah,
and feeling ways about stuff. But
and I feel like it's healthy to have like these conversations. Like, even though we don't necessarily like the same things all the time, I think it's
right,
it's good to have like different point of views. You know?
no, for sure. Like I mean, I like all kidding aside, I think it's super valuable
Yeah.
to 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 have conversations where you don't agree because we're increasingly living in a world where people can choose to live in an echo chamber of their own opinions, which
Yeah.
which is so dangerous.
I
But
yeah, I frequent Reddit, so I understand that.
oh, oh
Reddit is like a cesspool of that. Just
God,
it, it,
I
it it's really hard.
I love Reddit almost as much as I hate it. It's so bad sometimes.
Yeah, it really is. It really is bad. But unfortunately, it's like one of the like lesser evils when it comes to social media.
I mean, it's so sad but true. Cause like, it's one of those things like, because Reddit is so toxic, but it's like
It
a
is.
harmless kind of toxic. Like, you'll get tumors, but they're benign, as opposed to Twitter will actually just give you cancer.
Yeah, Twitter will just ruin you.
So
Luckily for me, like for Twitter, like I do have one, but I just like follow certain content creators and then just like or like artists and then just like look at art all the time.
I mean, and that's like the best way to use Twitter is like he's got to be real diligent about being like it's only for these things. But
Yeah. We didn't even get into my very hot take
you're very hot
that
take.
that I that I thought about
Oh,
while
do
we
we
were talking.
do we want to get into this, or is this for part two?
I don't know. It might be a part two. I could like I
Want
know like someone in chat or he probably knows, but
want to give a
I
tease?
I do not like. Well, I not like is a strong word. I do not
Mm-hmm.
particularly enjoy anime that has been made before the year 2000.
Oh, that I forgot. That's true. I
Yeah.
forgot that you're a terrible person and we can't be friends anymore.
That was my extreme hot take.
That
Is
is
that
that's
is that
right,
old anime I don't really enjoy.
right.
I don't
Which
know why. It's just the way my brain is programmed.
God, and that's one that baffles me actually. So that could certainly be its own conversation actually.
I think it like started when I tried watching Mobile Suit Gundam, the original series.
It all started with a robot show.
It all started with that one. But yeah. That's probably my hottest take
Yeah,
when it
the
comes to anime.
geez.
And that's like a whole different can of worms to talk about that requires its own episode of us talking
Yeah,
about like pre 2000 anime.
right. Which that's something I would love to discuss because that fascinates me to no end.
Like don't get me wrong though, there are some really good pre 2000 anime,
Mm-hmm.
like Evangelion for instance, but like the majority of it is just hard for me to watch.
Right. Especially when we have the superior movie version.
Yeah.
It's no problems at all.
Anyway, I think
But
that's all of our hot takes
yeah,
for now.
for now, well, I mean, we have other opinions. I really want to berate you for your opinions later on old anime, but that definitely will need to be a different time because we really kind of got in it when we talked about cartoons versus anime there. But,
Yeah, we did. It was a really interesting conversation. Kind of like made
so
me think.
yeah, so and thanks to everyone hanging out in chat, sharing sharing thoughts as well. Hatun, I'm choosing to believe that you're a very good friend despite the hurtful things you tell me, such as burn the alien. That that's considered an aggression in some countries, I think. but but no, and thanks to G Silver for thoughts and Lala. I know Jen and Smo were here earlier. Oh, AC's here. Came in a bit late. Hey, AC. You didn't miss anything. Me and Zaiga are no longer friends. This is the final episode. And I would, I especially with my dying breath, I curse Hatun. But I think that's pretty much all you've missed, AC. But thanks for coming in to say hey. Um,
I
so
have a question for you, really quick.
sure thing, boss.
Do you believe in Area 51?
Uh, like,
That
how
there
do
are
you
aliens in
how do you
Area
mean?
51?
How do you, like do I believe that there's actually like like actual aliens in Area 51?
Yeah.
I mean, probably not. Um, because all of the bodies were moved to Dulce Air Force Base back in the 80s. Uh,
Right.
that's a different. I mean, I guess if we want to be 100% serious, like the super fun conspiracy theories aside, probably not. Like, I mean, I mean, because like all those, I mean, they're like outside, because like there's the famous UFO crash in Roswell, right? It's like supposedly the Area 51 origin. Um, which I mean, like, 'cause I believe in aliens, like, and there's even a chance that aliens have swung by our neck of the woods. Maybe, like, I'm willing to put that on the table. I I gotta believe they're competent at their job so that they wouldn't crash their ships into the ground. Like that's the part I get hung up with as far as the whole Roswell thing and Area 51. It's like I gotta believe they're better at their jobs than that. So like I don't know that there's gonna be like with no matter how much we Naruto run into the base, I don't think we're gonna find a sweet spaceship in there. That'd be so sick though. Like if if the government comes out tomorrow and is like JK everybody, we got a whole fleet and there's one for everybody, then I'm gonna go line up. But um, I'm gonna say unlikely, I guess.
One of these days we should have a podcast episode where you try to convince me that like ghosts and stuff are real.
Oh, ghosts are super real. What do you mean?
No, they're not. No, they're not.
There's a ghost right behind you, but oh no, he's been got by the ghost. But
Or like can convince me of like aliens and stuff.
sure,
Like I do like think that we're like not alone out there, but like aliens, I don't know.
right? Yeah, cause in that, if we
Like
want
a
to get
four-eyed tentacle monster named Cthulhu.
right, no, yeah, if we want to get totes serious about that conversation, because like, cause I mean, like, because man, I have a deep love for the wackadoodle nonsense out there because there's so much of it, and it's incredible fan fiction. Um, but I do think there's like some truly strange things that go on that, that's a whole other conversation because I mean it'd
Um,
be
Lala, to answer your questions, if there isn't aliens or not ghosts out there, what is out there? Anime waifus.
yeah.
There you
Well, Elon Musk said he's gonna get make cat girls for all of us,
go.
so got that to look forward to.
Oh yeah, yeah. I believe in Elon Musk's future of cat girls. I mean, there has to be a way, you know.
I mean, get in a whole other like the the science of how it'd be such like fundamental changes to the skull that have to be made to allow for cat ears. But anyway, um, it's a whole other nonsense. But my wife was her god, son of J Silver. Hattoon says bacteria. If you want to be boring and be Michael Crichton, then yeah, there's probably bacteria aliens. But
See, the only thing I believe in is my anime waifu. I believe she's out there somewhere.
right, if you want to get into like, because there's the infinite universe hypothesis, which is both fascinating and probably not accurate. It was put forward by Dr. Everett, like in the 50s, and that's exploded in science fiction. I mean, Infinite Universe would be like literally anything you can think of exists somewhere, somehow, somewhen, because everything exists all at once, basically. Which, I mean, that was basically like his lazy solution to like, I don't want to have to figure out quantum physics, so I'm just gonna say it's all true. And so I give him an F minus for being a scientist on that theory, but that's another thing. Um, I mean, because honestly, like, I don't talk about it much on the anime. Like, I mean, because I got the UFO my teacher. Like, I really am into all this weird stuff. Like, I listen to so many podcasts and read so many books. It's really not good for me, I'm sure.
See, I don't understand that stuff at all. And that's why I want you to like sit me down and like tell me about this stuff one day.
Sure, we could. I would so be down because I think it's fun stuff. Like it because it's just a fun way to like look at the world in a different perspective, which I think is a healthy thing to do. I don't know. Talking about aliens, I feel is like the brainial equivalent of like going to the gym, like because it forces you to exercise your thoughts in a way you've never done it before. But watch her play Steins Gate. Oh, I do have Steins Gate for the PS3. I got the limited edition Japanese version and with the cell phone and everything. That could be fun to try to stream Steins Gate. Hatun says brainial. Look, I'm not a scienceologist, okay? I don't know all the technical terms for it. Anyway, we can probably go ahead and get going, Zaiga. I'm sure you're you've had enough. You
Oh, I've had enough of you, so
we got to get I should get a tinfoil hat. That'd be a great accessory, actually. That'd be really funny.
I'm pretty sure you could probably like make one.
I,
Just
I'm I'm sure I
like
could.
pull out the image and then just set it on top of your head.
Right. I'm sure I could get some bad Photoshop and do something. I mean, because people were also like, I'm people are actually giving some really good like suggestions for props. Because I think the other thing on my to do list is to make a Thancred body pillow. Because he's my husbando. But too, and I'm totally a real doctor. I got a correspondence course letter and everything. Doing okay, Zyga?
Yes, I'm doing fine.
That's good. Are you pondering about what kind of body pillow you'd want?
I mean, I've never had a body. I've always wanted a body pillow,
You don't
like
have
one of those.
one?
It was one of those Dakimakuras. I've always wanted one,
Oh, you gotta get a cool
but
Dakimakura and be a cool weeb.
I've like never gotten one
Oh,
because they're kind of expensive.
well, yeah, I mean that's actually true. I mean, they're expensive. I mean, because I mean, the one I have was like $60, I think, which kind of pricey. It's also like not too bad for a Dakimakura. But everyone's got to have at least one. Amerk, that's right, Amerk body pillow. I could get one of them. That'd be fun. Yeah, you gotta look deep in your heart, Saiga, and decide who do you want to snuggle next to you in the form of a pillow. It's a totally normal question to ask yourself.
Anyway, um, I I I I don't even know what kind of character I would get a body pillow of. It's so hard for me to decide
The beautiful thing
on
is
like
that
a
anything can
character.
be a Dakimakura. I think one of my favorites I saw recently was um it was just like literally a trash can, but it had like the nice side and the naughty side where it was really, really funny. But the tune suggests Kane Senna. I don't know if Kane is necessarily waifu material. Like she's my favorite of the three leaders, but that's really not saying much. Like I don't know, like but anyway, that's another conversation, I guess. We'll do our 14 episodes someday when I beat the game. So yeah, we
I don't
probably
know. I don't know if you'll be able to finish it. I mean, like we 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 just like discovered today, like what your true desires are,
yeah.
and I don't know. I don't know if you'll make it.
I mean, the nice thing about 14 is that like it really helps me. It helps me fill in that like non-completionist urge because there's so many side quests that I can ignore.
So like wait. Maybe this is why you always get into games that never end. You
I
got into Warframe, got into Final
14.
Fantasy.
That's true.
So you should embrace those type of games.
I
No?
guess. Like I definitely play a lot of games get that don't winnable English. Zoro Boob mousepad. That'd be pretty cool. It's just like Sweet Pecs or something. Mystinian Boob mousepad. I think my favorite mousepad I've still seen, and actually I own the mousepad because it was that good. Is I have a Gouda mousepad. Um, but instead of booba, it's like her cheeks are puffed out, like she's grumpy.
Do we have to bring up this how you're like how you like Gura but you don't even watch her stuff? Like
Gouda is my forever waifu for
your
VTubers at
forever
least.
waifu that you never watch.
I admire her from afar. I don't need to know what she's doing all the time to know that our love is true. But I watch her like once a year just to make sure she's alive. See, G Silver has a cool Dakimakura. It got to be cool too, Zaiga. Too, and I'm the realist fan. I love Gura even though I don't watch her content. I just honestly I just don't have time. She doesn't edit her streams, and I just don't have time to watch a 3 hour video. But anyway, that's another. I watch clips actually. I watch clips of Gura fairly regularly. But anyhow, last I put in Discord. Thanks, Lala. Wow, the Abby May channel. I like that one. Yeah, we probably should get out of here before Zyga gets any more mad at me.
I mean, we're already not friends, so
That's true.
I
But
can
I'm
just leave
I'm
it.
worried that the needle's eventually going to start dipping into like dire enemies or something though. And then I have to start watching my back. The tune says can't relate. Watch this 6 hour near Drakengard lore video. See, I wish I mean I guess I could make time for that kind of stuff, but it's it's hard. I can't focus that well. If a video dips above 1 hour, I start really struggling.
Really.
But I don't have ADD. It's never been diagnosed. It's not true.
Oh, I was gonna say something that maybe people in your channel might like. I don't know if they've ever watched Crash Taste, but I know that you guys watched Trigun Stampede, right?
Mm-hmm. We did.
I think in the most recent Trash Taste episode, they interviewed the uh either director or producer of Trigun Stampede. So if you're ever
Hmm.
interested,
Okay, that's interesting. Oh, I haven't watched Trash Taste in a while. Actually, I think about it. I probably got a whole catalog I could catch up on with them because their podcast is way better than ours. Zaiga. I mean, no offense, but I mean, you're no Gigic. You're
I'm no gig.
you're
I
you're
wish
you're,
I could
per,
be.
you're perhaps an anime man,
Am I?
but you're certainly no Gigic.
You're probably the sea dog, the one with the weirdest takes.
Stupid taste. Like I don't like music.
Yeah.
Every time Connor talks, I'm more and more convinced he might be an alien. It's another conversation. Um,
I think you just identify too much with the.
I mean, it is funny. I mean, this is a whole tangent. But like legitimately, like every time Connor talks, like, I'm like either like I'm like 100% like I agree with Connor. Like he actually is like saying something like that is true and factual. Then there's like, but then it's like otherwise like it's like I 0% like I can never meet him halfway on anything. It's like he's either a madman or a genius. But that's because he's British.
Probably.
Well, didn't he like grow up like in the Czech Republic or something? Because he speaks Czech. Or she
No,
no, no, it's not Czech. It's Welsh.
it's Welsh.
Welsh.
Yeah.
Like some obscure random like he grew up in Wales, I think, and apparently nearly died every weekend throughout his entire college career.
Anywho, it's getting late for me.
Yeah, we got to get going.
Well, what are you gonna be doing this week?
So tomorrow's our anime night. We watch Monthly Girl Nozaki-kun, episodes 7 to 9, I believe. And then Friday we're playing Yakuza 0 with Smo, and Yakuza 0 is pretty good. It's a silly game,
It is a silly game.
but it's a silly game I like to
Did
play.
you,
So
did you get to that like
I guess I don't get to play.
with the weirdest side? I want to ask if you've like seen this one side quest, but I don't know if you like have done it yet.
I mean, we've seen some weird ones. We did the one with
What's
the
the one?
dominatrix who wants to learn how to be more assertive. Um, we did the one with the high school girl who is trying to stop selling her panties and can't. Uh, I mean, there's been a number of strange ones. I'm sure they only get stranger. Yeah,
What about
we're
the what about the baby men?
haven't seen that one yet.
Okay, that one's the worst.
And then yeah, we're up to the Majima section, so we're playing as Goro Majima.
Goro Majima is the best character.
He's uh he's having an interesting time in life, that's for sure. And then oh yeah, Smo is playing. Wait, tomorrow? Maybe more V Rising. Is Smo streaming tomorrow? Maybe he is. Or I know he's streaming Thursday for sure. But and then Saturday is probably going to be Warframe and or V Rising. Has been a new game we've been trying out. It's like a crafty survival game, but you got to be a vampire. It's actually pretty fun. It's Diablo esque.
Diablo-esque.
Yeah, it's
Well, cool.
so it's like an isometric 3D RPG kind of thing. But
There's this
well,
game I
oh
want
the
you to
other
play.
oh sorry,
There's
Lala,
this
the other tomorrow. But
there's this game I want you to play.
sure,
I want you to do it on stream, maybe.
okay, listening.
I don't know. I think it would be a good streaming. Have you ever heard of the Henry Stickmin collection or something like that?
Yes, I remember.
I think that game would be so up your alley.
I feel like I remember I don't think I've ever seen anything about the collection because that's like a I feel like I've seen videos of like maybe the earlier games or at least like one or
Yeah.
two of them because like I think I can picture what you're talking about. Like, it's like it's like stick figure, like multi choice something or other, right?
Yeah, it's basically like a story thing. Like you just like pick an option or something like that.
Right.
I think you should like play it on a stream. I think it would be pretty interesting. I saw like some clips of it, and I was like, oh, this seems like a fun stream game.
Okay. Could look into that
Yeah,
to see
it seemed really
how.
funny.
No, I do remember because I think I've seen I saw like a video or two from like I think Markiplier played it, like or he played one of them at least. But I think actually he did play the I think he did play the Henry Stickmin collection, but it was also like a 6 hour video. I was like, no way. So,
Yeah.
but I could maybe look into playing that if folks are interested.
Anyway, um, for me, I'll
Yeah. What are
um
you up to?
what am I up to?
More Star Rail.
Yeah, I'll probably be playing Star Rail on my own. Like there I'll probably be streaming next week sometime, maybe. Or maybe sometime this week.
Hmm.
My raid group is on break for like a month.
Oh,
So I have to like do Party Finder
which probably works
and
really well, right?
I'll probably be farming the new extreme trial,
Hmm.
which and maybe I might go live and then just like chat while trying to learn or trying to farm that.
Okay.
And then I'll be probably trying to do the new raid tier in Party Finder as well while I wait for my static to get back. So
All right.
and
Fair enough.
this raid tier, like no spoilers, but it's one of the best tiers that they've ever made, I think.
Hmm.
And that's just seeing the normal mode versions of the fights. Like I think it's probably one of the best ones that they've ever done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So yeah, I'll be trying to do the savages of that because I definitely want to do the savages now that I've seen what normal has to offer. So
Nice. Nice. I guess so. That's like the okay. So wait, are there savages available for that yet?
not yet. It'll be available next week.
Okay, I see. That's actually that's pretty quick after the regular release then. But that's okay. That's
I
cool
still
though.
wish I could have helped some people like clear the previous extreme uh raid trial because I had that memorized. Could have like helped some of in the community. I have like 100 and something totems
Yeah.
from the last one.
Wow. Well, there you go.
Anywho, that's about what I'll be doing, playing Honkai Star Rail on the side, like once a day, just for a little bit, just do dailies,
All right. Check in
and
with your waifus.
yeah, I have to.
Yeah. Make sure they're doing okay. Change out their water dish.
Yeah, I guess. But I think like this week I'm also like doing like a lot of like I think I'm gonna be riding my bike a lot and doing a lot of stuff like that too because I love cycling.
Mm. That's right.
Anyway,
You do like exercising for some silly reason.
it clears the mind.
Now I remember why we can't be friends.
Yeah, because like, well, I remember when I used to live over there, I kept on saying, pointing like whenever we talked, I'd point to your like bike machine
Yeah,
that you bought that was collecting dust.
my sweet wheelless bike. I mean, I am using that actually because I actually have space for like up in my room where I am because I can't be on the first floor of my apartment anymore. It's no good down there. So I have it up in my room now, and I do use it actually. I use it. I'm trying to do more. I do it a couple times a week. I'll just get on it and read some One Piece or something. But
Exercise, at least for me, like really like clears my mind and allows me like to think more. I like have like thoughts to myself, I guess.
right,
Think over things. That's what I like
no,
about it.
no. I mean, and there is something to that. Like I mean, like I have noticed like if I need to start doing it more regularly or like schedule it better or something. But because it does, I don't know. It does kind of help. I don't know. It feels good afterwards. So
Anyway,
yeah. So we got to get out of here. It's way too late.
oh yeah, like I do want to talk about One Piece sometime. Well, because I don't know if you keep up weekly, but like,
Are you
whoo,
caught up? Are you caught up, Zyga?
weekly, the stuff that's coming out weekly right now is like peak.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What chapter is the newest one?
I don't know. It's like, let me check. Let me check. One Piece manga. Pull this up. Chapter 1084
Oh, that's
is the
all?
newest one. Yeah.
Really?
Whew,
I'm actually really close
so
to.
good.
I'm almost caught
I
up then. Sweet.
just the lore bombs being dropped right now. It's like nuclear bombs,
Yeah.
and it's
Is
so good.
Sanji Usopp's father?
Oh yeah,
That's what I'm hoping for. That's my fan canon. So,
yeah. So one of these days we'll talk about One Piece.
but I mean, I'm actually. I mean, I joke slightly. I'm getting closer. I'm close to chapter 400. So like I've been making progress on it. I'm almost done with the Water Seven. I mean, I assume I'm almost done, but they're currently speeding along a train and having fights.
Oh yeah, that's the good arc. That's the good arc.
People people say that Water Seven is the good arc. I don't know if I. It's probably been my least favorite one so far. Like even behind Skypiea,
Oh my gosh, this is like a hot take right here. This is
but
like something that we should not be talking about right now.
but yeah.
This is
I mean, and
this
granted,
is like
I haven't finished the arc, so maybe I'll change my mind. But I do have strong opinions about the way Water Seven is what it is. But
see Lala, this is what I have to deal with on a daily basis.
yeah,
This is what I have to this is what I have to deal with. These
yeah. So,
takes.
so we can do a Water Seven episode sometime, but, or maybe just One Piece in general once I get far enough along with things. But
All right, we seriously have to end this.
yeah, we got to get it out of here. It's getting late. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
And AC is recommended to play Tears of the Kingdom at your soonest convenience. It's like, are you going to do that?
What was that?
Playing Tears of the Kingdom at your earliest convenience. It may have been suggested to me as well. I don't know, but
Yeah, yeah, no.
I do kind of want to play it. I just don't know if I have the time for it, which is like really sad because I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, it's a big game, and I don't have a Switch currently, so
Mm,
there would be nothing I could play it on unless I like find other means.
yeah, if you dust off your eye patch and pair it.
But I do not like 30 FPS.
Well, you get the Switch
Oh,
OLED version.
like if it was on PC at like 60 FPS, like I would be down to play it.
Is there a single Nintendo game that's ever been released on the PC? I'm trying to think.
No,
Like like a first party Nintendo game that's like officially on computer,
no.
which is psychopathic in this day and age. But that's anyway. Yeah, we got to get out of here. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, AC. The answer is perhaps. I really would like to play it. I just dagnab. I don't know. Like I barely have time to play 14, which is the game I've been playing for a year. Like just anyway. Yeah. I'm gonna get out of here. Hatun is saying rude things again. So this you know what, Zyga, this was a good final episode. So
Yes, yes, it
I
was.
I hope I never ever see you again.
Chances are high. Let's
Mario
just
around
say.
actually there was a Mario around the world. I think there's a Mario teaches typing too. So there's been a couple of technically. But were those first party developed games? Is the question. Because I know anyway, that gotta get out of here. Sorry.
Yeah, we gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here. See, you're it's we're pulling it back. You're like, oh shiny, oh shiny, oh shiny.
So sorry. I'm so sorry I'm like this, everybody. Please forgive me. Have mercy. Um, we're going. Hold on. Let me close that. This
All
has
right.
been In Another World of My podcast. Dud.
Yes, we will see you another time.
Yep. Okay, we're getting out of here. Bye, everybody. Thanks for being my
See
friend
you.
Lala. Bye. Goodbye.
Bye. See
Bye. The
you.
worst ending
Bye.
button. Here's the ending. I found it. Okay, bye.